Hello again, and welcome back to Airdrie Public Library Virtual Programming. We're back here on Scratch, and this time we are going to do a little bit of physics with our programming and learn how to make a platformer. So that's something like Mario. So let's get started here. I'm going to use this little cat, I suppose. Well, actually, we use the cat a lot. Let's find something new. Let's take Ben here. Ben has lots of cool little positions he can be in, and that will work perfectly for us. I'm going to take him down here. And let's get started. So, as usual, we want to start with the when flag is clicked. And before we even start anything, we are going to add some variables. These will be for this sprite only. I don't think anything else will need it, so we can always change it later as well. So we're going to need gravity. We're going to need x speed, and we are going to need y speed. So let's get started with our inputs. Under control, I'm going to pull out this forever, and I'm going to pull out a couple of if-else. So this one will be for moving left. This one will be for moving right. And then this one will be for slowing down. To get started, let's go into, I think it is operators, I think. No, it's sensing. We need to sense if our key is pressed. I'll need a couple of these. So this is for left. This is for right. And then in our variables, we will use these to set our x speed to negative. Let's go -5. Since we're moving left, left is always negative. And I can duplicate this, throw it down here, and just make this +5. Alright, and then while I'm here, I'm also going to set gravity at the very start. Let's make gravity -5, because down is negative and up is positive. Gravity pulls you down. Alright, so now let's get in the actual moving. We are going to go up to motion and just pull up this, and we're going to just stick that in the very bottom. We're going to change x by our x speed. This will be either positive or negative. Right now, I just kind of tap it once, and then Ben just keeps on sliding, doing the moonwalk on his one foot there. So let's put in something to make him slow down. So we can actually need 2 of these if-else's. One for if he's going right, one for if he's going left. So under control, I'm just going to pull out another one of these and stick it into there. So if he's going right, first of all, we're going to pull out this. This is the greater than, we're going to need the less than as well. If his x speed is greater than something, or if his x speed is less than something. Let's say 0.5. His x speed is greater than 0.5, or his x speed is less than -0.5. Then we are going to want to change that x speed, in this case by negative in the opposite direction. And then we can duplicate that, stick that in here. Do the same thing, but make it positive. And this last case is for when it's kind of between this area, we just want to set it to 0. Just so he comes to a complete stop. X speed to 0. There we go. Now let's see how this works. Okay, so I must have done something wrong here. So let's see. Left arrow is pressed, it goes to -5. Right now we are at -6, which is less than -5. It wants to change x speed by 0.5. Okay, I see what happened. I didn't hit the start key, the flag there. So it is actually working fine. We can see as I let go, he starts to slow down. This is just what I wanted. That nice, it's called an ease out. Okay, so now that we have his ease out, his kind of slide to a stop done, let's do the gravity a little bit. All right. Okay, so let's start with our control as usual. I'm just going to pull this out here and then we're going to fit it into our code later on. So right now, what do we want to happen? I want when we press the up arrow, he jumps up and then slowly starts coming back down. So if the up arrow is pressed, the up arrow is pressed and he has to be on the ground as well. But we don't have a ground yet, so maybe we will defer this till a little bit later and create our ground. I'm just going to paint a new sprite, and we can use black, use the lines, make it really big. It's easy to see. There we go. Maybe I'll throw in some platforms for him there too. Make these straight. Okay, and then we'll call this ground. And so back in Ben, when the up arrow is pressed and in our sensing, we can actually sense if we are touching the ground sprite. Then we want to set our Y speed to, let's go like 10 for now and see how that works. So I can fit this right underneath all of these. But we currently aren't doing anything with Y speed or even gravity for that matter. So let's change that. We're going to do another kind of ease out. So let's grab in our controls another if else. Things are sticky. Okay. This needs to go under there. That needs to go below it. In this one, we want to say if we're not touching the ground, we want to fall. So if not, you're sensing, we can get touching ground. Then we want to change our y. Change y by gravity. And I actually don't think I need this else statement, so let's just fit this back into a regular if. So now if we're not touching the ground, we will start to fall. If I move Ben up, he'll slide down until he touches the ground. But we don't do anything with this y speed yet, so let's do that. I'm grabbing another if-else here, and let's try and fit it in right there. It's gonna let me. No, okay. There we go. So this block here will be just like our ease in over here, but we only need to worry about it in one direction. I don't think we're going to be falling down and having to come back up. We're just going to be falling down and then hitting 0. So much like this up here, I think I'll just actually duplicate some of this. That's the wrong one. I need greater than. If our y speed is greater than 0, I want to change my y speed by, we'll go -5 again and see how that feels. And else, I want to set my y speed 0. And then in the very bottom here again, we are going to go into motion and say change y by, you can see Ben kind of took off there, change y by our y speed. Let's pause and restart this. He's not touching the ground, so he'll slide down. And then when I hit up, he does a little hop. And I can make his hop a little stronger by changing this number. Let's go maybe 30. See how that feels? That's a little too much, I think. 12. A little higher, 18. Too much again, 15. Perfect. Yeah, that feels good. All right, and there we go. So that's our little bit of physics lesson done. Maybe we can change some costumes into this. Let's just give him a costume for falling. Let's see. So under looks, that's where our costume is. Switch costume to... Alright, so under here, if he's not touching the ground, change his costume to Ben C. What does that one look like? Yeah, that's perfect. And then in all other cases, we're going to keep his costume at Ben A. Now when he's in the air, he does a starfish. Perfect. Alright. So this doesn't quite work for walls, but it works well for platforms. And you can kind of get yourself stuck in the sides of the platforms but I think that's a problem we will solve next time. So thanks so much for hanging out. I hope you learned something, and have a great day.